storm outside again. I think I'll keep this other layer on top. Then again, it's a good thing probably because it's hiding my Chelsea shirt. I know they're not always that popular. I guess you could say it's a Chelsea morning. Yes, good morning. It is a Chelsea morning because we are doing a fitness fragrance review again today, and it is this fragrance that is called, as you just saw, Chelsea Morning by Lush. It's one of their perfumes, so not a body spray, one of their perfumes. And yeah, I've been really interested to try this one. I did an initial impressions video of this a little while ago on the home treadmill, and I wasn't that sure about it. I really liked the opening, but I wasn't too sure about it as it developed through the fragrance. My brother absolutely loves it. He bought it. This is his one. He bought it a few months ago. He's worn it a lot. As you can see, it's already gone down quite a bit, considering he has a lot of fragrances, about 100 fragrances. So to use that much that quickly, says he must be a fan. So we are going to review this one today. If you haven't seen my fitness fragrance reviews, essentially we rank the fragrance on 5 categories. We look at its price/value for money, its versatilities, how much you can use it in different situations. We're going to look at projection, so I'll spray my room with this fragrance later to see how much it fills up a room, how much I notice it during my run. Hopefully I'm going to get out running this morning. The weather is really bad. We're going to also look at its compliment factor, so do I think it will get compliments in different situations, and its longevity, where I'll spray my arm before I go into the gym, do my gym workout, have a shower, and then just see how much I notice it once I finish my workout. So yeah, that's the 5 categories. It'll be a score out of 50 in the end. Before we do that though, we're going to talk about the note breakdown. What is actually in this fragrance? Okay, so let's go through the note breakdown. Again, I must mention, Lush don't tell you everything that's in it. They tell you some of the accords, they don't go into the specifics. But what I'll do, I'll read through them all right now, what they've mentioned that is actually in it, and then I'll tell you what I can detect from that. So you've got lemon, sweet orange, and bergamot. So you've got quite a fresh opening here, alongside an orange marmalade accord. So when you see things that say accord, essentially it's a combination of molecules, synthetic notes, that essentially make a smell. And this one's obviously meant to replicate orange marmalade, but it's not just one single note. There'll be multiple notes that lead to that smell. And then they've also got a buttery pastry croissant accord, tonka bean, vanilla, benzoin, and softwood, sandalwood type warmth. So what am I picking up from this? You're definitely getting this like caramel sweetness, and that's probably, if you're looking at it, the tonka bean, the vanilla, the benzoin all joining together, and it's probably just wrapped around by those woods of the sandalwood, because there is this sparkling edge. There's definitely something caramel in this, and I expect that caramel's coming in that buttery pastry croissant accord. There must be caramel. There's probably, I don't know, there'll be some other notes in it that give that vibe from that, maybe butterscotch, something along those lines. Orange marmalade accord. I think this one ties in a little bit more with the citruses, because what you get is this caramel opening that's really quite strong, but then you do detect from those top notes, the lemon, the bergamot, and the orange, they do really come through, and they from what I've had from this initial impressions, is they last throughout the whole fragrance as well. You don't just get this caramel at the end. If anything, the citruses come through a little bit more. It's actually the caramel smell you notice more at the start, and it just leads to this really unique fragrance. I don't think of those two notes combining. Normally you think of citrus fragrances, you know, just a summer type scent, and then winter fragrances go more into that caramel scent. You don't often see them mixed together in this way, so it's quite unique, it's quite interesting, but you will detect those notes. You'll certainly pick them up. They're nothing too divisive. They're in a lot of fragrances, the notes that I've just mentioned. So yeah, that's kind of the note breakdown. That's the vibe I get. What we'll do, we're going to try and go out for a run. If not, I'll be on the home treadmill. But we're going to do the first 2 categories, so price/value for money, and also its versatility. I'll see you out there. Wow, it really is horrible out here today. It certainly is a stormy morning. Thankfully, I got the wind behind me for a little second now, so I thought I would talk about price/value for money for another morning, Chelsea morning. So when my brother bought this, I believe he paid £60 to £70 for this one. And I was pleasantly surprised looking at the prices this morning to see that 100ml now looks like it's about £40. And you can get a 30ml as well for a little bit less, like £20. And that's really changed my opinion. Look, if I'm being honest, if I was blindfolded, what would I have wanted to have paid for this originally? If I'd known it was still £60, I probably would have said that was about right based on the quality of the smell. You know, it's got that trademark Lush quality, very naturalistic smelling, but also quite simplistic. So I would have said £60, £70 would have been about right. But I think £40 for 100ml is excellent value for money. Look, I'm not the biggest fan of the citrus in this. The lemon in it
is a sharp lemon. It's not like that sweet candy sort of lemon that you'd expect in a dessert, which is what I was expecting when you look at the fragrance, when you look at the, the accords they've tried to replicate. No, it's quite a sharp, icy lemon, which feels much more suited to a fresh day. But this one here feels much more like, and I don't really understand the name of Chelsea Morning. For me, the fact it's got like this butterscotch sort of smell, it definitely smells more like a nighttime fragrance, and maybe more that full winter transition type season, which we'll talk about in more detail when we look at versatility. But the quality of the caramel, the vanilla, the benzo, and all these notes in it smell really, really high quality to me, and they certainly smell at least £40. So I'm really happy to see that they've reduced the price on this, and it's making me tempted to buy it myself. What I would say, I'm going to use a phrase from the COVID time here, it does feel though that the citrus and those sweeter notes are almost engaging a bit of social distancing though. They don't feel that well blended, they feel like they're separate. And it's not that you can't pull this off, the Actus Barber Vaniglia is one of my favourite scents, and they've really mixed the citrus with that brilliantly with the vanilla, and you do get that high quality. It does feel like almost Lush have put all these ingredients in and they've forgotten to give it a little shake to mix them all together. It feels like they're all separated, sitting on top of each other, distancing away from each other. So that's the only thing I can mark it down for, really. And for that reason, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Really impressed with this though so far. And I said that reduction in price, which doesn't look like a sale price, it's like a new standard price, it's certainly tempting me. Hopefully, as I do more of my workout today, my opinion will keep improving on this. Versatility for Chelsea Morning. How much can you dress them down? Different ages, different occasions, different seasons, all those things. Well, I definitely think this is a unisex fragrance. Again, we said about the notes in this. They're very much notes like bergamot and vanilla and all those things, sandalwood. They're in men's and women's fragrances. They're in home reed diffusers. They're in loads of things. So they're recognisable notes, which means they're never going to be too daring for any occasion. And again, where you've got that contrast between those sort of more summery, lighter notes and those more sort of sweet winter notes, I think this is going to be best in those transition seasons. Probably cool spring mornings and slightly warmer fall winter time. That's going to be when it's best, because I don't think it's going to really cut through the cold, but I also don't think you want this in the summer, because the caramel type scent, that butterscotch, is going to be a little bit too overpowering and a bit cloying for yourself on those days. But I think climate controlled environments, this will be perfect. And I think if you're someone who works in an office, this has got enough to be your signature scent. I really do. I think it's got that real balance there between, fresh and a little bit more sweet, which gives you that little bit extra projection and better performance with that Lush quality. And it's unique, and I think people will say good things. It smells like a fragrance, so don't think of this as like a real gourmand that people are going to think, oh, he smells like a lemon pie or some sort of salted caramel cake. It's not like that at all. It does smell like you're wearing a nice fragrance, a nice sweet fragrance. It's not a gym one, it's not a workout one. It's fine for a rainy day like today. And I think you can certainly wear it casually if you want, and job interviews or anything like that. You could dress it up. I wouldn't dress it up myself personally. I think Lush are more simplistic in their phrases. It's not got a lot of depth about it, but it does smell real high quality. But I would like a little bit more leather or suede or something just to complement those more statement night out fragrances. But it's very nice. It is really nice. I think it's got a classiness about it, a sophistication, a little bit more grown up through its quality, which means I think someone sort of 25 and up will appreciate it more than someone a bit younger who might want something a little bit more fruity. And I don't think for that reason it sort of works in like clubbing situations or anything like that. But a night out with friends, a night out where you're not going to go wild and, let your hair down as much, I think this is perfect. So it's a pretty versatile scent. I think it's definitely got signature scent potential, and I'm going to give it an 8.5 for that reason. Really nice fragrance, really enjoying it so far. And then when we'll get back, we will talk about how much I'm noticing it during my run.
Well, that was horrible, but we have done our run, and the most important thing is it did stop raining by the end, so hopefully, by the time I've had my coffee and go downstairs, it might have stopped and stay stopped, and I can walk to the gym. But I'm going to spray my room next. We're going to test for projection. I'm just going to quickly spray my arms first, and this is the projection test. So basically, in a few hours' time when I leave the gym, we'll just see how much you can still smell this fragrance. So yeah, I'll have a shower off to do a workout. How long does it last? But we're going to talk about projection first. Also, I'm going to talk about how much I noticed it during my run. I'm going to spray my room 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'll come up in 10 minutes' time and just see how much this fragrance has filled a room. So if a colleague came in, family, friend, whatever, would they go, oh, that's nice, what is that in the room? So yeah, that's all done. We will head downstairs. I'll talk about how much I noticed the fragrance during my workout. Delicious. So nice. Honestly, I really needed that. So projection during my run. How much did I notice Chelsea morning during my workout? Well, it obviously did rain quite a bit, as you saw from the early bits of my video. It wasn't really strong, but what I did detect when I was changing direction, particularly with the wind behind me, was the caramel smell. But you do still get that quite strong lemon hint from it. I just wish that lemon wasn't quite as sharp. But during my workout, that nice sort of creamy caramel smell really was nice. It was really pleasant because it's a bit chilly out there, very windy, unpleasant. And that's what I quite like during my workout. When it's not a nice day, I actually prefer those sweeter ones. Obviously in the summer, I prefer the more freshy type fragrances, and I'd probably be reaching more hoping to get the lemon from this fragrance. But it was interesting. Again, it's a strange scent, and it doesn't. I just don't know. It feels like I wish it was blended a bit better, and I could kind of work out what it is. It feels like two separate personalities going on here, and yeah, they just haven't quite joined together. Not unpleasant, just haven't joined together in the same way. And it's an interesting scent, but it is very pleasant. It's growing on me. That's what I would say. And it does have that quality. As I said earlier, I think £40 for it is a great deal. And that actual caramel note in it is amazing. That's what I really like about it. If that just didn't have that citrus, this could be an all-timer as well, which would be up there with their 60-day fragrance, in my opinion. But do I think it's going to fill a room? Not maybe as strong as maybe it could have done if it didn't have these fresh notes, but the fresh notes are quite prominent in this. So what we'll do, we'll finish this, we'll head upstairs, and then we can give a score overall. Right, I couldn't smell it outside of my room, but the minute I've come in, it's there. And it's that butterscotch, it's a lemon butterscotch smell I'm getting. And it's very pleasant. Look, people are going to notice this. There is no two ways about it. If you come in the room, someone's going to say someone's got a fragrance on. They're going to like it overall, I think. It's not too daring, it's not too divisive, and it's different, and that will generate attention, in my opinion. And that's really quite impressive. I think if it was a little bit drier today, the weather's looking a lot better tomorrow, it probably would have scored more on my run. So for that reason, I'm going to give it a 9.5. Look, it's not super strong, but I wouldn't want it to be. I think whenever you're filling a room with a fragrance, you don't want it to be overpowering too much to choke everyone out. I think people will like this, though, even if it is on that slightly stronger side, because it is a mass-pleasing, recognisable notes, but a unique scent, which will generate attention. So I think 9.5 out of 10. Can't fault it at all. What a really good fragrance this is. I said I was not particularly praising of it in the past. Maybe I need to be a little bit more now. So hopefully, I'm planning to go for a walk to the gym now. We'll talk about compliment factor, though, either way next. So wherever I am, whether I'm on the home treadmill, in the car, or walking, we'll talk about compliment factor. Do I think you can get compliments with this scent? I've taken the risk, but there is a huge black cloud coming, and I'm very worried I'm going to get soaked in a minute. But anyway, compliment factor for Chelsea morning. Do I think this is a compliment getting fragrance? Yes, I do. And I think that for a few reasons. Look, obviously I've touched on it many times in this video already. It's got that fresh component, it's got that sweet component, and they're all very recognisable notes that people will like. I think the other thing is that it does have that uniqueness about it, though, the fact they've put them all into this fragrance. I think many people will go in a good way, they'll go, that's a little bit different. So in that sense, they'll mention it more than those generic, typical smells like Dior Sauvage. But it's also quite versatile in that sense as well. So it means you'll have a greater sample size where you can wear it in the office. You can wear it in climate-controlled environments, essentially. You can dress it up, dress it down. So you're going to have a larger sample size of people that can recognise it. And across a broad range of ages. And, you know, being a unisex fragrance as well, I think it's got that mass appeal, which is going to generate some good comments. Would I buy it for compliments? Look, Lush, I do think do really good fragrances. I think it's going to be one of those that's going to get more than I expect. It is quite simplistic, again, as I always say in its presentation. It's not got a lot of depth, it's not got anything like patchouli in it. But I think sometimes simplicity done right is perfect. And look, for £40, I think you can, you know, the fact it filled my room like it did actually surprised me. And it's going to get noticed just purely on its strength as well. It's got high quality oils,
I don't really know what to mark it down on for this. I really believe this one will do. I'd be interested to know if my brother's had any with this one. Again, in terms of experience with this, I don't think he's had anyone mention it. My mum's got this as a solid perfume, and she really, really likes it as well. But I think as much as compliments for, yourself, wear this one for you as well. It's a nice, just calming scent. I can imagine wearing this one at home on like a rainy day like today as well, because it does have that comforting quality. So, look, do I think it's date night sort of fragrance? I don't really. But I think other than that, you're going to get good comments. More just general nice comments rather than being maybe overly seductive with that scent. I'm going to give it a 9.5. The more I'm trying to think about, I'm trying to find anything to kind of mark it down. And that can be the only thing. That 0.5 is maybe I wouldn't wear it for a date night. I'd want something a little bit more creamy. I think if that lemon was a bit sweeter, probably would have been a 10. But of course, if we're getting at the gym today, we will give it a 10 overall. Right, let's try and beat this rain. So workout done, no compliments, but really enjoying it. I said about this lemon I don't really like, but actually now I've worn it for a bit longer, because obviously when I've tried it before I've only sprayed it and then smelled it for a little while because it's not my fragrance, but I'm really enjoying that lemon. But the caramel's coming through, it's almost giving me a bit of a coffee vibe now. It's almost, like I said, I did obviously a review of the Zara fragrance Sand Desert Sunset Intent yesterday. I almost lost a bit of love for it. I love a fragrance because it was so bland. I can't fault it for this one. I really can't fault that at all. It's strong, it's unique, and I can't stop smelling it because it keeps changing. It's a really, really nice scent. It's a real good one from Lush. Enjoying it a lot, even though it's not my favourite, but it's fascinating. It's a fascinating scent. I think it's going to do well. So I'm going to have a shower in a minute. It'll be essentially 3 hours then since I applied the fragrance. We'll see how long it's lasted. I think it's going to do better than some of the Lush ones I've had recently. Thankfully, it's still not raining, but the gym showers weren't working very well, so I've probably not washed off as well as I normally would, but it's about 12:05. Time to smell my arms and see what we can detect. Yes, it's definitely still there. As I said, probably if it was a hotter shower and a little bit stronger, maybe it wouldn't be as strong as this, but I'm saying it's about 70-75% as strong. And that's probably a good thing, because what it makes you realise, if you put this on in the morning before you go for your work shift or whatever, you're not doing a workout like I was, it's going to get you through the day. It's going to get you certainly through, a cool, not frosty day. I don't think it's going to cut through the cold, as we were saying earlier, but it's going to last on your skin, and people around you are going to notice it through the afternoon, certainly if you reapply it as well. I mean, to be honest, I think this is going to be by 6-7 o'clock, which is about 8, 9, 10 hours since I applied it. It's probably still going to be there at least 50%. It goes back to the quality of the oils. I think Lush do. They always do really high quality oils. They try and keep it as natural as they can. And this is just another one. It definitely has that sort of coffee vibe with it. It's like a latte, and someone's asked for a bit of cinnamon or caramel syrup to be added to it, and it's becoming more pleasant in my opinion. That sort of citrus that I think is quite strong, that sharp lemon that's in the opening, seems to be wearing off now, and I just think this could be a brilliant caramel fragrance in its own right. I just think if it was a slightly sweeter lemon, I'd love it. I think it'd be up there as one of my favourite Lush fragrances, but it's still very, very good, and the longevity on this is very good. So I'm going to give it, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. There's some that are really, real strong ones as well, and as I was saying, the citrus has worn off a little bit, which is, I suppose, what they really want this for it to be, is a combination of sweet and obviously fresh. So yeah, that's the only thing I can really mark it down on, but it's good, it's very good, and people are going to certainly notice this one. They do smell these perfumes, the Lush perfumes, a little bit stronger than their body spray, a little bit more concentrated, and yeah, I think for £40, I was saying earlier, it's definitely going to be one that's worth the investment. But what we'll do, we'll head back, I'll count up all the scores, and I'll give my overall thoughts. We are finally back. It has been a long workout today, but I cannot believe I didn't need to take the car to the gym. Survived my run, ended up running further than I planned to as well. So it's been a good morning. I've managed to do 41,108 steps, all while wearing this morning fragrance, Chelsea Morning by Lush. So what was the total score for this fragrance? What did it get overall? It's done really, really well. 45.5 out of 50. One of the highest scores I think I've ever given. And
I'll be honest with you, I probably maybe was a little bit too generous on it compared to maybe some of the other ones I've ranked before, because to be honest, it's probably not up there with my absolute favourites. But it's not about me. As I said, it really isn't about me. It's one I think would work for most people. And if you're someone that just wants to try something a little bit, well, just a little bit different, really, which is what I like about it, which is what I appreciate about it. A bit of freshness, but this real nice caramel butterscotch sweetness that just lasts throughout the whole fragrance. You're going to really like this one. If you like sticky dates, if you like yognog, those sort of fragrances, you're going to like this one. Actually, it deserves its 45.5. I think I've been very fair. The more I'm spending this, the more I enjoy it. And if you can get this for £40, which is looking like the price you're getting at the moment, it's a no-brainer for me. That 100ml bottle, you're not going to need to overspray this one. It's going to get you through the day. It's got signature scent potential because of that freshness in it as well. And it's just another brilliant release by Lush. It's something I don't know a fragrance that smells like this one. As I said earlier, I just can't stop smelling my arm because it has got that alluring vibe to it. I even said it wasn't a seductive fragrance during my compliments earlier. I think it is. I'm changing my mind more and more with this one, but only for the right reasons. And that says to me, this is a great fragrance, because sometimes you can get a bit bored of fragrances by the end of the morning. This one, I certainly don't. And maybe that's what it means. Maybe that's what Chelsea morning means. You just don't get sick of it. It gets you through the morning, but it will certainly get you through the day as well. But yeah, thank you very much for watching today. Planning to do another weird layering video tomorrow. I haven't done one for a little while. My brother's got the day off work, so I don't think I can nick any more fragrances. So we're going to try a butter spread. So the next time you see me doing one of those fitness workouts over the next couple of days, yeah, you'll see me rubbing butter on my arm. I can't wait, I guess. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you later.